Hi class, so continuing on the exponential smoothing model. Now we have seen that how the forecast 7 depends on D6, D5, D4, D3, D2, D1. So we satisfy the property of considering all the values. Now let us delve into more mathematics and see what insights can we get out of this formula. If you see the formula of F7 when we completely expand actually depends on D6, D5, D4, D3, D2, D1 which we already have, right? And the next factor is F1 which we assume as suitable value at the start. Now we will see why even if we ignore this particular factor will still result in a good value. Let us keep it aside, so I have written in blue. Now only deal with D6 to D1, right? We are ignoring this for time being. Later on mathematically we will show how these values can be ignored also. So now we have also seen in the previous lecture why alpha cannot be 0, cannot be 1, cannot be less than 0, cannot be greater than 0. So now we have alpha is 0.2. Again between 0 to 1, what is to be chosen, again we will see that. Now if you see only for the d terms, as we saw in the weighted average example, if you can see these are the weights. Alpha into 1 minus alpha is a weight associated with d5. Something like this is W1, this is W2, this is W3 and so on. Right? Ideally what we said that during, because see this does not have a denominator, the sum of weights should be equal to 1 in the ideal scenarios if we consider, not a specific rule. Right? Now if you see these terms, right? So what are the terms that we have here? The first term of the weight is alpha. Second is alpha 1 minus alpha. Third term is 1 minus alpha square. The last term in this case is alpha minus 1 raised to 5. Right? So if I make it to the nth term, so basically this means I can write this as 1 minus alpha raised to 0. Right? 1 minus alpha raised to, anything raised to 0 is 1. Then we have alpha 1 minus alpha, alpha 1 minus alpha whole square, alpha 1 minus alpha, because 0 is the first term, and if we have a series of n terms, this term will become n minus 1 and not n, right? Because the total number of values in this series will be the last term minus the first term, and we include the term itself, right? So this gives me n. So hence the last value will be n minus 1. Fine. I hope the things are clear till now. So after this, what happens if you make an observation here? This is a geometric progression. Right? So this is a geometric progression with a common ratio of 1 minus alpha. You can divide the next term by the current term. So alpha gets cancelled and one power will reduce. So the ratio R is equal to 1 minus alpha, and the first term is alpha. 1 minus alpha raised to 0 is 1. So the first term remains as alpha. Fine. Now if you see, this is an infinite geometric series. Basically this is n is infinity, and the common ratio, that is R, is between minus 1 to this. Right? I think this formula is not less than equal to for this one. Right? So in this case, the summation of this, right? We want to calculate the sum of the weights. So in this case, when we have an infinite GP series with a common ratio having values between minus 1 to plus 1, the sum basically comes out to be A by 1 minus R, where A is the first term and R is the common ratio. This is the basic geometric and arithmetic progression that we studied. Right? Now in this case, what happens? What is our first term? So let me just remove this to avoid the confusion. The first term is alpha. This is equal to alpha. What is the common ratio? Common ratio is 1 minus alpha. So 1 minus alpha. So now when I expand this, this becomes 1 minus 1 gets cancelled, alpha becomes plus, and which is equal to 1. Wow. So the sum of weights is equal to 1, right? Which is another good thing that we get with the exponential smoothing method, right? Now you will intuitively say that you will have no series which goes up to infinity. That's again a good question. So now we will see, in this case we kept alpha is equal to 0.2, right? So if you see, when I just have 4 terms, right, alpha raised to 4 basically becomes 0.0016, right? So on the fifth power, right, when I go in this fashion, when I go to alpha, right, okay, and also you see the value for 1 minus alpha. So 1 minus alpha is 0.8 because summation should be 1. So 1 minus alpha, when it goes up to the fourth term itself becomes 0.4, right? On the fifth term it will further reduce, and when you multiply by 0.2 it will further reduce, right? For example, if you have two numbers 0.4 and 0.2, right? 0.4 and 0.2, the multiplication is 0.08. This value is even lesser than both of this. And you can see that we are always multiplying alpha into 1 minus alpha, alpha into 1 minus alpha. So the value of alpha is anyways getting, on the fourth term also it reduced to 0.4, and when you multiply this or the fifth term with alpha it will even reduce, right? So as you see, when this exponent increases, right, this exponent increases, the value becomes infinitely small. So I just computed on Excel that when you do minus 1 minus alpha raised to 16, right, 1/6, the value is 0.02. And when you will multiply that value by alpha, that will even become 0.004. So the second decimal is also 0, right? So now what happens is that, now again you can see we meant something called as progressively assigning weight. So alpha is 0.2. When you do alpha into 1 minus alpha, so alpha is 0.2 and 1 minus alpha is 0.8. So this becomes 8 to the 16. So this will become 0.16, right? So what is the weight 1? This is 0.2. This is 0.16. Similarly, when you see that, so if you see the value of D is 0.2, the value of second weight, that is D5, is 0.16, which is less than this, right? This is 0.20, this is 0.16. So 0.2 into 1 minus alpha square, so 0.2 into 0.64, that gives me 0.128. So now you can see the weights are getting reduced at each and every step, right? And I am assigning the highest weight to D6, right? So what is my D6? D6 is my most recent demand, right? So this is how you see, you have a progressively reducing weight. Basically you are giving higher weights to the current value and lower weights to the previous values, and so on and so forth. Now you can see that when the value of alpha is between 0 and 1, and when 1 minus alpha is less than 0.5, you can see that this term, for a very large value of n, this will basically reduce to 0. As I said here, 1 minus alpha raised to 6 in itself comes to 0.02, right? And it basically progressively tends towards 0. Similarly, this thing will have a very less contribution, and so on. So the next contribution ideally will have a higher weightage to the value D6, lesser to D5, even lesser to D4, even lesser to this, and the least to D1. So we consider all the values also in exponential smoothing, and also we assign progressive weights. We keep on decreasing the weights to the further values. Fine. I hope this is clear. The sum of the geometric progression is also one, that is also clear. So technically you can get rid of this term 1 minus alpha, because this will be tending to 0, or even if you keep this term, this will have a very less effect on this particular term for large values of this. Fine. Now let us see how to choose the value. We are convinced that the value of alpha should be between 0 and 1. So now in this case we took the value of alpha as 0.2. So what if we choose alpha as 0.8, right? Now just see for an intuition, if you choose alpha as 0.8, right? If you choose alpha as 0.8, this will become 0.8 into the demand and 1 minus 0.8 into this. So this will become 0.2. See, we are more focused on assigning weights to the forecasting and not to the demand. Demand is important, but we are trying to estimate the forecast. We are trying to basically forecast value. So intuitively, this should get a higher weightage. Also, if you see from the formula, let's say, let me erase this. You have alpha equal to 0.8, so 1 minus alpha is 0.2. So see, when alpha was 0.8, right? So this will become 0.8 into d. What will this value be? Alpha into 1 minus alpha. So 0.8 into 0.2, right? This is 0.16. Fine. So now if you see in the contribution of F7, alpha and alpha 1 minus alpha, this itself is contributing 0.8 and 0.16. So these two itself contribute to the main forecasting, right? So the 96% of this basically comes from these two factors only. Again, which is not desirable, right? We need to consider all the values. So from this you can see that it is always preferred that you basically give more alpha or more weightage to the forecasting term, right? So alpha less than 0.5, depending on the situation also. So when we take alpha as 0.2, right? So this factor became as 0.2, right? This became 0.16. So now you can see these both are only contributing 36.36, that is 36%, right? Which is still less than 50%, right? So you get a more smoother and a more better forecasting, right? So this is how the value of alpha has a effect on the final weightage. And one more thing. Okay, I think that should be the end of this exponential smoothing. Let me just check if I have missed out on anything. Okay, so the last point that was only I was making, that since this value will tend to 0, the value that you give to F1 does not have any major impact on the final outcomes. So thank you for watching.